If you are growing your YouTube channel and you are looking for some like legit ways to earn some money, I'm super excited to share today's guest with you. We have Omar joining us from Speak Spanish Now. And last time I interviewed Omar, he was closing in, he was just over 700 subscribers, and he's closing in on 5K subscribers, and he's making money through his channel. He's doing such awesome work. So anyone who has any questions for Omar today, drop them in the chat. I'm so stoked to have you all here, and I'm especially stoked to have Omar here. Thank you so much for joining us, you absolute bloody legend.
I don't know about a bloody legend, not yet, but I'm glad to be here. I appreciate you reaching out and having me on the podcast here today, and let's chop it up. Let's see what we can do to help people out to get where they want to be at in the YouTube land. I'm definitely excited for this, though.
Yeah, it's awesome. I just think it's so inspiring. We have a little chat on Facebook and hearing about the incredible things that you're doing. Even when I recently had a big break from YouTube, and hearing all of the stuff that's happening on you guys' channels, it's just it's very, very cool. We've got some comments in the chat saying you are looking good. Oh, why is that writing red? That's exciting. I guess that's a new thing here today. Go Heels. I don't know what that means. You might have to fill us in on what that means. Is that a sporting team?
What was that?
The Heels. Who's the Heels?
Oh, yeah. So, Michael Jordan and like we've had Michael Jordan is like the main person that we had from the Tar Heels. So, North Carolina, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. So, yeah, I went to school there and hailing from the great state of North Carolina. So, yeah, that's absolutely a thing. We are
Nice.
worldwide. Maybe not in
Amazing.
Australia, but I mean, somebody's got to know what's
I
going
mean,
on.
I've heard of Michael Jordan.
Nice. Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah, so Omar has been making some money through YouTube, and I'm really excited to be talking about that today. I'm always so intrigued by the interesting ways people are able to monetize this apart from the YouTube Partner Program. So yeah, thank you so much for offering to be an open book on that. Be as open as you would like to be, and as closed as you would not like to be.
Absolutely. I'm bringing everything to the table today. I'm telling
Awesome.
it all.
I love that. So if
Like
anyone
this is
has
this is our version of the Diary of an CEO. Like,
that's
but I'm like
exactly
the
right.
bottom CEO. Yeah, we're doing the bottom floor CEOs, like the bottom floor, just starting out CEO type situation. I'm all about it.
That's brilliant. And speaking of just starting out, for people who are new to you and your channel, let us know, how did your channel start? What brought you to YouTube?
Wow. So I don't want to go into a dark area, but however, I will tell you the way I started YouTube was my father actually was like, "Hey man, you teach in school. Have you ever thought about doing the YouTube thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." This is, of course, like years before my father passed in 2022, but he brought it up maybe in like 2010. And he was like, you should probably think about doing that YouTube thing. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I can really pull people together and do what I want to do. This is prior to me even starting my LLC, which started in 2017. And so in 2010, he was like, "Yeah, you should do the YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for the camera." And once he passed in July of 2022, I decided, hey, I'm just going to honor him and try this YouTube thing out. I had written an ebook that I had put up for purchase on Amazon. And at that point, it was just like, I'm going to do a little blurb for it, a little ad. And that went pretty good. And then I said, okay, well, maybe I can teach what I'm doing in the classroom on YouTube. And so I started with the basics of what I thought people would like. And this is, of course, well after, um, well, not well after, but it was right after COVID. And so I said, well, I can at least try to put it out there for people to see if they like it or not. And I started getting some hits, and I was like, okay, I need to branch out and be a little bit more creative and not so streamlined of what I used to do in the high school environment. And so once I figured out, okay, you got to be a little bit more creative and be relaxed and have more fun, that's where it took off for me, though. So yeah.
Mm. That's that's so cool. I something I really love about what you've just said is that you. Why is this writing red? Something I really love. This is the joy of live. The joy of live. Um, yeah, something I love about what you have just said is that you started with a product. So I think a lot of people
Yeah.
start on YouTube and they're like, ah, now I'm going to work out how I'm going to make money. So you like already had a thing.
Right. And so I had a thing, and I have another thing coming up. If things continue to go the way they're going, but initially I wanted to get people. I started with a product, and that's number one, the wrong way to go about it. Don't start with
Okay.
a product. I would say you want to get the information from the people that you are trying to focus upon
Mm.
first. And I did this out of my mindset. I wanted to go ahead and put a product out and try to, get people in from there, but nobody knows who you are. So if
Yeah.
you don't have a brand, if you don't have a channel and you're not really putting out the content, people don't know who you are. So you can't start with the product first. I would say always think about, can I put 5 videos out at the same time where I release one per week or maybe two per week? And then that way people know, okay, I've seen him a couple of times. 7 is probably a good number to start with. And so once you start with those 7 and you have 7 points of contact, people can say, oh, I've seen all 7 of his videos. Can I get more from him? That was
Mm.
the thing, of course, when we started back in 2022. And that's, of course, when I met you all. I think that was one of the biggest things that I did not understand coming in. And I would not recommend people doing a product first because it's hard, it's difficult. You do the product first, and then people are like, well, why would I buy your product? And so once I realized that people don't want to buy a product from somebody they never heard of, you've
Mm.
got to put the content out. You've got to put your content out and get them acclimated to who you are. And that was one of the biggest things that I figured out, that, oh, I need to do more content. And eventually people will say, oh, well, what else does he have? And then that's where you go deeper.
Mm. Like really building that trust first before focusing
Yes.
on money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because what is the rule that we've learned from, Sean Cannell from Think Media and from other, I wouldn't say big YouTubers, but YouTubers that know about the intricacies of how to, bring in people to buy your products, would be what it's like, the 11-7-4 or the 7-11-4, that rule that they all talk about. And it's basically working now, but I didn't know it in the beginning. But of course, who knew it in the beginning? And so once you find out the rule of, you got to have those points of contact, and I didn't have in the beginning. I was not doing I was doing everything wrong. Not having an email list, and of course, I learned that from Marianne. That, oh, you need to have an email list, and this is what we had in our group.
Mm.
Um, and once I learned, oh, you need to have, and so I, subscribed to her email list so I could find out, oh, this is what I should be doing every week or whatever. And once I figured that out, then everything started to come into play. So I would say, first and foremost, do not think you have to come up with the product first. You do not have to come up with a product first. You can absolutely save that to the end. You just want to get that notoriety, and you want to get that opportunity to say, hey, I'm here. This is what I'm going to provide for you every week. Give some gems throughout the email once a week or whatever. And
Mm.
that's where you get to start to build that notoriety and that brand from the back end. And then you continue to do your content, and everything else falls into place. It's absolutely amazing. The ride is amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible. I would love to know from people in the chat if you've started monetizing your channel in any way yet, and let us know what ways you are monetizing your channel. And also, like, I find some of the ways, like for my channel, some of the expectations that I had starting out, like, oh, this is going to be how I'm going to make money, and it's actually been really surprising that I was wrong about that. I would love to know from you, Omar, do you make money through the YouTube Partner Program? And if so, is that a big piece of the pie?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely not. My ad revenue is subpar for me anyway. We've got these grandiose dreams like, oh, I can make all this money on ad revenue and I'm gonna be amazing. I'm gonna get these brand deals and blah blah blah, sponsorships. No. Um, I'm here to tell you that is absolutely not the path that you should focus upon. I have in the beginning, that's what I thought that everybody could do.
Mm,
Everybody, regardless of your niche, I thought that ad revenue was where it was going to be. And right now, I probably wait every 2 to 3 months to acquire, and this is God honest truth. Every 2 to 3 months, right now, where I am, to get $100 in the threshold before I can get a payment off of ad revenue.
yeah.
Ad revenue is not where it's at for depending upon your niche. Like for my niche, education, teaching Spanish, for me, it has not been working. However, up until like this past week, though, that has superseded what I'm talking about right now. But in the beginning, no. Ad revenue is not where it's at. You've got to find ways to make money outside of the ad revenue while you're producing content on YouTube.
Mm,
I would say what you have to do is figure out a way to make the content that's specific to the people you want to address. Who is your avatar? And that is probably one of the biggest things that I had to get the pride off of me and say, oh, this is for everybody. I want everybody to learn Spanish. But in the end game, I had to realize that there are people that want to learn Spanish, but there are specific people that you have to address
mm,
to get the flow going. And I realized it maybe 2 months ago, where I figured out, okay, this is the avatar that I want to go after. And once I figured out the avatar that I want to go after, I slightly pivoted my information. And my information told me from the analytics, once I saw, okay, now I'm picking up the right demographic of who I want to address. And
mm.
that's where the money comes from. And it comes outside of YouTube. It's not through YouTube. But, well, I guess I take that back. It's through YouTube, but it's not through ad revenue. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah,
Oh, it's so interesting. Yeah, the Creator Classroom also says takes 2 to 3 months to hit the $100 threshold. Yeah.
yeah,
Are
I
you
see
saying
that.
that's
Yeah,
for your channel as well? I just think it's so interesting because people are like, I got to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And I mean, yeah, your channel's at,
I mean, I can make, and I can make $2.36, or
yeah,
I can make,
yeah.
a 7 cents off of a short that has, I don't know, 1,200 views or whatever. Great, give me the nickel and two pennies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can get
And
what,
from a
like
US dollar
a chocolate
standpoint, yeah,
bar?
it's rough. It's absolutely rough. And I would never tell anybody, oh, you're gonna come out here and you're gonna kill it. That's not necessarily going to
Yeah.
be the case. Not for everybody. Some people can get out here and just automatically make hundreds of dollars off of shorts or off of VODs or whatever, or video on demand. And that's cool. Like I was recently visiting a friend of mine from college, and his girlfriend was telling me, "Oh yeah, I've got these bird videos where I just show shorts of birds, and I get 11,000 views on shorts." And I said, "I have never had a short make 11,000 views, and I thought I did something like pretty phenomenal, from
Yeah.
educational standpoint. And but people are watching birds and getting 11,000 views. Go
Yeah.
figure, and what ifs is
Yeah.
you can't measure yourself next to the person or the person that you're looking at in their particular niche. You can never do that. You've got to stay the course and try
That's
to
it.
focus on what it is that you're trying to do. Yeah, absolutely.
So on your channel, do you remember how many subscribers you had when you started making any money?
So, well, if I think about it's, of course, I had passed the 1,000, in the 4,000 hours.
Oh,
And
so from things that are not the YouTube Partner Program.
oh. So, okay. So, yes, I do remember that. So, I started in 2022, and probably within the year, I had picked up two one-on-one clients, high ticket offers that I was like, oh, this YouTube thing is still working. I could still go at it a little bit.
Mm,
And then I picked up two more. So I picked up four between 2022 and 2024. And but I was still green in the area of understanding how to market myself on YouTube outside of what I didn't really focus upon. So I had four clients that were one on one by 2024, that were recurring. So it was a
mm,
constant every four classes or whatever. So that's like a month. So every month I would get a payment from them. So it was the privacy of the classes off of YouTube that I did, that I was making money from. But I still wasn't bringing in clients like I wanted to.
mm,
And so I had to figure that. But I did start making money in 2020, late 2022. So I want to say like December. I started getting clients. I got two clients, and then 2023 I brought in two more, and that was a good thing.
mm.
Um, but
Anything recurring like that
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
wonderful business model.
And I will tell you this, and I'm like an anomaly because most people, they still work their full time jobs and still try to do YouTube, which is hard because I was doing it in the beginning. When really like went all in, I would say from June 2022 to December of 2022, YouTube was all I did. I had left my job of teaching high school, and I'd gone into, I'm just, what, I'm going to do my part time as my full time. And my part time was the LLC, which was a language consultant, transcription, interpreting or whatever. I did that as well, and also had some subcontracts out for additional languages as well. But for me personally, I was not bringing in the amount of clientele that I wanted to bring in from 2022, from June to December of 2022. Absolutely trash. It was the worst thing ever. However, it gave me time to sit back and look at how do I want to construct my content to get it out to more people on a broader perspective. And that I think is what kind of has opened me up. And it's just a trial and error type thing. You just keep going, you keep going, you keep pushing, creating new things. Try this. If it doesn't work, switch over and try something else and keep working until you find something that works. It
Mm,
wasn't until and I'm gonna end the story at this, but it wasn't until 2023 when I had one of my clients that I had that agreed to do a Zoom. We did a Zoom interview. It was our normal class, but I said, "Hey, I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna edit it, and I will put it on YouTube for people to see how things go."
Mm.
And that video is probably next to my AI video. It is. I'm not gonna say probably. It's actually my highest grossing views, and I probably need to go back and change the description, the description of the video where I add in my links, because it's the highest grossing. The one right there where it says her first Spanish conversation. Yeah. So that one is probably my highest grossing video on demand, and it's evergreen. And I definitely need to go through and rework the description so that people can get in contact with me. One of my faults, but we're all human. I just never really thought about, hey, I just thought about it right now. Why don't I go back and change the description so that people can know, hey, this is how you get in contact with me. This is how
Mm.
you can sign up for one-on-one classes, things of that nature. Or you can do the monthly plans or whatever. So that video in itself, though, got me a lot of, interest, and where people were like, "Hey, how do I sign up for your classes?" Things of that nature. And so my biggest game plan is trying to promote and produce content that brings people off of the platform to me, and that's what works really well for me, though.
Mm. Amazing. I love it. I love it so much. And you have a video that I just thought I'm actually going to jump back into this here. Where are we? Here we are. Very good. I'm so good at navigating this. So this video here, you won't believe how easy it is to master Spanish with ChatGPT. I see is absolutely killing it. That's pretty amazing.
Right. That was the trend jump type situation, the trend jacking, or the trend jumping on the trend setting situation. Where, and I know you remember this, like when we were in the our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, where I was like, hey, this is a thing now. And this is like when ChatGPT had just started. And
Mm.
I was like, well, let me research how to work with it and how to maneuver it. Now, Chat GPT, next to my brother, is probably like my best friend. I know that's sad, but whatever. Um, I love Chat GPT. It's like the best thing ever. But I bounce ideas off of her and or him or whatever you want to call him. But literally, it gave me the idea for how to create something for people that aren't necessarily people. You know what I mean? So if you're like an introvert and you want to learn how to speak a language using AI, it was the best thing for those people. And it was a particular niche, and people actually said, hey, this is one of the things that I actually want to do. And it worked. So every now
Mm.
and then I come up with good ideas. Every now and then. It's not like every week. I promise you it's not every week.
It was
It's been
this
a
week
drive.
though, wasn't it? The Creator Classroom says, look at the video 6 days ago, number 3 in views. Yeah, tell us about
Yeah.
how that
Oh,
video is going for you.
whoo. So yeah. I stole that idea. I'm just gonna be honest.
Love it.
I
Still
I
like an
was
artist,
I was
right? I
looking
haven't read the book, but I've
at
heard it's good.
right. So I literally, it was one night, and I happened to be watching a guy, and I'm not gonna name him or whatever, but I was like, oh, I like this idea, but I don't like the way he's teaching it. And so of course, everybody's like, oh, I can do it better. And that was my thought. And so I said, okay, let me figure out a way to produce the same idea, but run it back and do my own version of it that people would be more receptive to. And I promise you, it was not my best. I will tell you, it's probably one of my worst videos ever, because the way I do my editing, is not the best idea. My brother was like, "Hey, bro, you just need to go ahead and get photo like Adobe or whatever." And I'm like, "I can't pay that a month or whatever." But he was like, literally, what happens with me is I'll run it through my initial editing program, which is Camtasia, and then I'll run it through CapCut because I like I like the quick hitting like nuance of Camtasia. I mean of
Yeah.
CapCut. And but the thing is, I switched over the frame per seconds, which was initially 30, but I was like, no, I normally recorded 60, frame per second, and it didn't work out well. And I flipped it over for no reason unknown. I should have never done it. I should have left it at 30 in Camtasia and flipped it to 30 in CapCut. And this is my own. Now, granted, I know people don't do this, but this is my own version of editing, and it's the worst idea ever. You probably should never do this. But I run it through two editing programs, and I think I develop a lag. And so the lag on certain devices shows up. And so people are like, "Hey, I know your voice is running a little slower than the video is moving." And I'm like, you know what? Once I hit upload and I put it out there in the environment, I'm like, hey, whatever. I'm not worried about it anymore. Like
Mm.
some people are like, oh, it's so cringy and blah blah blah. I'm like, you know what? I just got to keep pressing forward and get the next idea on deck so that I can make it, better than what I had before. And it's probably, I would say, number three as far as probably one of my worst videos, but it's actually my best video since the Chat GPT video. Um,
Yeah.
and of course, the interview things, I've got to double down on the interview things. Those are probably some of my best ones. But this one, standalone by myself, number one out the gate. And I would
Yeah.
never change it for anything for what I have for right now. So,
Yeah. It's amazing. I love that like sometimes things can feel like they're like not good, but they are. And I'm very excited to go and watch this video after and see all the things that you're talking about. I haven't seen that video of yours yet, but yeah. How
Vince
amazing.
said, don't listen to Omar.
Yeah, why would anyone listen to that?
Oh, right.
Elle has said this
Don't
is
listen to me. Just listen to my story. That's all I'm asking.
this is so funny. My worst video and worst short is the same and has the most views. It's crazy. 319,000 views today, and that makes no sense. It's the dumbest video I've ever made.
I love it. I love it. That's absolutely the way that us as creators, we have to realize once you put it out there, you can either retract it and do something different, or you can just let it breathe. And when you let it breathe, a lot of times, and I've retracted a lot of mine, and that's probably where I make mistakes. Is I'll take something down because I'm like a semi perfectionist. I'm not like
Yeah.
all the way up at the top as a perfectionist, but I know when I'm like, oh, I got it. Oh, I got a mistake there. I got to bring back. I don't want anybody to comment and be like, hey, do you see that? You made this
Mm.
mistake, blah, blah, blah. But as I said in the chat this morning, I'm kind of a troll myself.
Yes.
So
Love it.
I enjoy troll activity. I'm like, that's like my thing. So when people bring the trolliness out into the comments, I'm right there to be like, hey, I thank you for watching the video. However, blah blah blah. This I love the troll activity. And but it makes me a better creator. And a lot of people will get down on themselves like, oh, they found this fallacy, they found this mistake that I made, and blah blah blah. But actually, if you internalize it and say, you know what, thank you for pointing that out, and then not necessarily telling them, but for yourself, you're going to make that situation even better when you produce the next video,
Mm.
you'll be okay. And luckily, through like our, with the Think Media, viral, what is our group? Oh my Jesus. What is the group? So like when we do the Facebook private thing through Think Media or whatever, I think I just hit a button that took me off. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, anyways, can you hear me now? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep. Oh, okay. So I hit the button that like cut me off of the eCam.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
yeah,
can
I
it?
don't know how that
Oh,
happened.
that's
But
weird.
anyways,
It is letting
yeah.
me know that
But I
you're
was still
joining, but I see that you're still here. So this is a strange thing I've never experienced before.
happening in life apparently. So this is
I wonder if it's
amazing.
going to
We
join
are.
you twice. Sorry.
Is it
Just
really?
can everyone let us know if you can still see Omar? Because I'm
Right.
seeing a
No,
phone
I
call
see me
coming in
on
from you.
YouTube though. I'm like talking whatever, and so
Oh,
it's
you
like
are on
really there.
YouTube. Great, you can see it. Fantastic. Well, I guess I'll say no to this version of Omar, and we'll keep this
No,
one.
reconnect me back in the
No, you're in
reconnect
there.
me.
You don't want to be
Yeah,
in
reconnect me
twice.
into reconnect me to you.
Oh, I can see you
Oh, this
twice.
there we go. Okay, so now I gotta mute somewhere.
I've muted you. I've muted you. Okay.
Okay, good,
Now
good.
you can see me.
No,
Cool.
no. I'm not muted.
How strange. Oh,
Hold on, let me.
now can you see me?
I feel like there's an echo. There's definitely an echo.
Oh, okay. All right. We've lost Omar. This is the
Whatever. Can you
joy
hear me
of
now or no?
live streaming. Oh my gosh. Call back in. Call again. Please, Omar. This is the beauty of live streaming, folks. The exciting things that can happen. I'm hoping Omar calls again, and I'm assuming you're. Oh yes, here he is, everyone. Oh, Omar, how exciting! Oh,
Okay, can you hear
thank
me now?
God you're back. Hello, I missed you.
Okay, so I know what it was. So I had to jump off of the YouTube version and then jump back in with you.
Ah,
So needless
we're
to say,
back.
I will say this. I will say this though. To end all that, hoopla, but I have not realized that it probably took me all of 2 years on YouTube to understand that there are people that will be on YouTube that will they are there to pick through your content and find the fallacies or the bad situations in your content and then try to regurgitate that information to you. And so what I was saying this morning in the chat, and well, it was morning for us. I know it was probably midnight in the middle of the night for you. I have found out that being that ChatGPT is my best friend, how can I respond to someone? Hey, ChatGPT, how can I respond to somebody in troll nature, but not necessarily in a bad situation where I sound negative, but I want to uplift them and help them to understand where I'm coming from? And I'll take a screenshot of the comment that they have, upload it to ChatGPT, read this ChatGPT, and then understand where I want to, take them to in that comment. So no longer do I have the feeling or the animosity that I have actually put into the conversation for ChatGPT. It's perfect. And so now, I'm an AI guy though. At this point, I'm like all in on AI at this point. So
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. It's such an empowering thing, I think, when we realize that it doesn't, like, people saying nasty stuff is just so much more a reflection of them than it is of us. But also, you don't get those nasty comments unless your video's doing well. That's been my
is that what it
experience.
is? Perhaps that might be
Like,
what it actually is, though. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's like,
yeah.
and
Because when
the way
when my videos suck, yeah, yeah, I don't hear anything from anybody.
but when I have a video that gets like a lot of unpleasant comments, typically the
Yes,
views bump right up as well. Because I mean, I guess YouTube views it as engagement, and the way I view it is like if you've got 30,000 people in a room, some of them are going to be assholes.
yes, yes,
That's
indeed. And I will say this off of that. You know how you might get a short or a video, and any of my videos. So any videos, shorts or whatever, I'll look at the like dislike demographic or the analytics from that, and it'll be like 98.7 or 98.6. And then I look like how many thumbs up versus one thumbs down. It's like one out of
Yeah.
like 135 likes, and then it's like one thumb down. And I think that one person is somebody in my niche. It's not somebody that's actually not approving of the information that we
Yeah.
are discussing. And I'm like, well, don't be that person in the niche where you're like, oh, I don't like your stuff. I feel like a karma thing. Like if you do that, it's not helping you out on the back end. So I have often thought maybe when I do things that are they go pretty good in the niche, and I look at that, I'm like, okay, who is this guy? Who is the
Mm.
lady or the guy that was like, oh, I got to give this a thumbs down, and there's like 133 likes.
Yeah.
Really, you're gonna be that one person. It's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And we've got to let that roll up our back because you can't have 100% every single time. And initially starting out, that was all I was all about metrics and analytics. Like, oh, I've got to do better here. I've got to see how I can keep the swipe away moving towards the right where people are actually watching versus, people are swiping away. It doesn't matter. You catch the right views from the right person, they will contact you and say, hey, how do I learn more? Or how can I get more in contact with you? Or how can I go deeper in this conversation with you? Kind of like last night. I hate to like take over, but I want to tell you one specific story from last night where it was probably like 10 o'clock my time last night, where I was just happened to go into the YouTube studio, and there was a comment, and the guy was like, "Hey, your PDF file for the free lead magnet is not." He didn't say lead magnet, but it's not is redirecting me back to the video. And I said, oh, let me go fix that. And I redirected it to the PDF and not to the video. Needless to say, that same person was like, oh, thank you for redirecting it so fast. How do I start to work with you ASAP?
That's
Money in the
pretty
bank.
amazing.
So all I did was comment, here's the link. I'll look for you in the platform or whatever. And so that was easy money right out the gate, and they hit the upsell or the order bump from the offer. So you never know, and of course you can get addicted to YouTube, the YouTube Studio, and pulling down your screen to make sure it's like, oh, I got this. It's addictive. I know, and eventually, once you get to a point, I haven't hit that point yet. But once you get to that point where you're like, whoever is, liking the video or I got these subscribers, I guess that's a thing. I don't know. I haven't hit that yet where it's like, I got, 1,200 subscribers off of this. I haven't hit that yet. But once it does happen, I think I still want to be involved and be hands on. Just this type of person I am. I like to be hands on, and I like to comment to everything that somebody says,
Mm.
whether it be good or bad, because I feel like the interaction is what a lot of channels miss out on. If you don't interact with the comments, it doesn't help your analytics. And I feel like if you stray away from interacting with the people that are commenting on your videos, you're not winning people over, but you're also not providing value on the back end after the video has already been created. And
Mm.
I think value is not just a video. The value can also come from the comments section because there's something that people like to say. If they have something to say, always have something to say to them. And that's going to provide them with a sense of comfort or dissension. And then, of course, you can go whichever way you want to from that point. But needless to say, I'll leave that there. So,
Oh, it's such important. Yeah, it's such good advice. The Creator Classroom says commenting back builds community. Absolutely, it's like it's such a missed opportunity. Not when you're still capable of it, when time still permits. It's so important. And as someone who, like, I comment on a lot of videos, it feels good when people write back to you. It just
yes,
it's a nice, it's a serotonin hit or whatever, and it's like
yes, yes,
that's what we want to be
yes.
making people feel good and heard and seen. It's so important. Um,
And
I
I want to before you go on, I want to just kind of never mind. I'm gonna hold it because it's probably gonna come up next. So I'm gonna hold it. Go ahead.
don't
Go
hold
ahead. Go
it. No,
ahead.
go.
Go ahead. No. Claire,
Okay.
bring it.
All
Bring
right.
the
I've got a
questions.
question
I'm
for
pretty sure
you.
it's gonna come up.
I've got a question for you about, so we've spoken a bit about like how you first started making money, what kinds of things you were making money from in the beginning. What's your main thing or things now?
Okay, so for me, I don't have any brand deals. I don't have any sponsors. My revenue really comes off of Google, and being that I have my own website for my company that I've had since 2017, I get a lot of um, traction off of my website, and then and that's just random. Some people are like, "Hey, do you have sign language classes?" Or I'm like, "I know I'm a language solutions company, but we don't have solutions for sign language. I haven't acquired a American Sign Language employee yet." But needless to say, Google still brings in a lot of interest for me. Also, number two is YouTube. I mean, I hate to say it, number two is YouTube. And I'm that guy, I will tell you this, and most people will say, "Ooh, this is a huge no-no." But I do it because I love it. And there's a difference between doing things that you love and doing things just for the sheer hope and wish that you could get a um, client. And I love social media. I'm like a social media fiend. I'm all over the place. I do LinkedIn. I do Facebook every now and then. That's like probably number five. But I do LinkedIn. I do Instagram, and I do TikTok, and I do Threads and X. I do all five. Now, granted, am I as active on those as I am in YouTube? Absolutely not. All of my stuff funnels directly from YouTube into the other things. So when people say you repurpose your content, absolutely. And I don't change anything. I just
Mm,
literally put the same short on all of the platforms because everybody doesn't follow me on YouTube. And so for me, I could throw one thing on YouTube and it gets minimum views. I could
mm,
put the same short on TikTok and it gets 50,000 views. Um, and that's okay with me. I'm
yeah.
totally okay with that. And then out of those 50,000 views, somebody might hit the email button and say, "Hey, how do I work with you?" People say pick one and focus on one. That's cool. But I've always been under the understanding of if you have multiple avenues to go down and you can put a car down each avenue, why not put a car down each avenue?
Mm,
And one of them will hit the finish line. You never know which car is going to hit the finish line. So why not just put it out there? Especially if you're not changing anything up. I don't change anything up
mm,
for different platforms. I will put the same thing out there. And then of course I've got my email list. I got an email list that I have, specifically for my website that also ties into my YouTube. So I get people there. I also have a blog that I do on LinkedIn that I got people there. So people are like, well, you're all over the place. That's my intention. I want to be all over the place. So when you see Speak Spanish Now TV, Speak Spanish Now here and there, you see it everywhere. Eventually, one of them is going to be like, what is this Speak Spanish Now thing is? And
Mm.
so when we talk about organic marketing, that is my organic marketing. I want to be everywhere you can be. And once I have it where you are, one of those avenues, you're going to come back and say, "Hey, how do I find out more about you?" But more specifically, like you said, Google and YouTube are probably my top two as
Mm.
far as bringing in clientele.
And
Yes,
from YouTube, the money that you make through YouTube, the majority of that is one-on-one clients.
one on one, and most recently, it's now because I have now developed well, not now. In September of 2024, I created a platform that allowed me to create a online course, Kajabi. So I use Kajabi,
Cool.
um, which is absolutely amazing. It's very similar to the platform I used in when I was teaching high school, which was Canvas, very similar to Canva, but Canvas. And basically, you could put a course on there with video and things of that nature. And so I learned that when we were on the lockdown of COVID, I mastered that. And I was like, oh, and that's literally around the time where I was like, you know what? I could do this on my own platform. And so I
Mm.
found individual platform that worked best for me, which is Kajabi. And so I do not exactly the same thing. I can actually be more myself on my platform. But I use that platform to create modules and create information that people can learn from, and I run live lessons through there once a month. Like tomorrow I do a monthly live meetup where I can say, hey, we're going to do a monthly live meetup where it's a Q&A, and it's private, it's not YouTube based, it's exclusive for the people that are in my community and my membership. And so having that opportunity for people to be able to join outside of YouTube is one of the things that I think has been the greatest
Mm.
um, platform for me in the last year. So I'm going on a
That's
year
great.
in September, but it's amazing. I love it, and it's right down my alley. That's what I like to do. Be able to
Mm.
create assessments and live video, and have quizzes and workbook activities, things of that nature. I can put it all in there, and I can also send newsletters out, and I can send emails out. It's absolutely
Mm.
phenomenal. So if there's anybody that's an educator, you want to look into Kajabi. I don't even do affiliation. I probably could eventually. It's not my thing. But I will tell people, if you have something that's educator based, that you want to eventually create a course, or you want to work one on one or have a community, you could definitely do it from that standpoint as a paid community at that. Everything is paid. You could also do free things out of there. So it's whatever you floats your boat. But it's my favorite platform as of now.
Mm. That's awesome. And I love what you said about how people can access it no matter what platform they're coming from. So like that's I
Right.
guess the trap with if people are wanting to diversify across platforms and you have YouTube memberships set up like through YouTube, um,
Right.
that could be a
And I
pretty
don't. And that's the
limitation.
thing. I don't have any, and I don't have any. I have yet to set YouTube memberships up, just because I don't like the percentage of how much they take, and that was
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I set it up through Kajabi, because I think I literally get 90% of the proceeds once I pay my upfront, you know, bill off of it or whatever. I get 90%. Everything comes back to me. It's 90% of whatever I make from each
Wow.
sale. And it's similar to, like, I think, what is it? People do. It starts with a P. What is it? The Where people can put like hidden videos or whatever. That platform, they use it Starts with a P. I don't remember the name of it. It's not something that's work that would work for me because I want to have test quizzes, things of that nature to help people understand that they need assessments, and they can upload private videos to me as far as recordings and things of that nature. I need a little bit more.
Mm.
What is it? It's not. What is it? Yeah, Patreon.
Oh,
Yeah,
Patreon.
that's not going to help.
Yes.
Yeah, Patreon is
Yeah.
not going to help me help. It's not going to help me help individuals become better Spanish speakers, and so that's why I couldn't go
Yeah.
with Patreon. Like I could put a video up there, but it's not going to allow me to upload the things that I want to upload and have a community where I can, um, it's essentially like a Facebook Messenger or Discord, but it's behind closed doors. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So having that opportunity to just be with my people and my tribe, if you will, allows them to have that safety net, and they're not exposed to random people. Like everybody that comes into my program or that comes into my community, I have vetted and I have talked to prior to allowing them into the community. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great that it gives you
it's
that kind of control. Hey, folks,
absolutely.
everyone who's watching live, if you have any questions, we're gonna have to wrap up soon because my baby's gonna wake up soon. But yeah, if you've got a question, drop it in the chat with some question marks so I can
And hit that
find
like
it.
button, baby. Let's hit the
Yeah,
like
yeah, hit
button
the like
and
button. We've got 4 likes. We've got more
and then make
people
sure
than
you
that
share this
watching.
thing out. That's what we want to do. Like if you're here, hit the like button.
Yes,
Absolutely.
please.
I already hit the like button and I'm on TV. So on the computer anyway. So
Yeah, that's great.
absolutely.
I would love to know from you, Omar, what is like if somebody is just starting out on their YouTube journey right now, um, maybe they're like, yeah, I don't know, they're under 100 subs, they're just really
Yes.
fresh. What is one piece
Yes.
of advice that you would give to that person?
I would tell them this. It's the same thing that the creative classroom has always said. Jen has always told many of people to batch record. And I think I wouldn't say batch record necessarily if you're not understanding what that means. I would say before you upload your first video, always have five recorded and edited and ready to go. And only reason why I say that is I didn't do it. So I wish I would have done it because being a full-time employee for someone else and not having five videos ready to go is a hard thing to try to build upon. Have your five videos ready to go before you hit upload for the first video. Just
Mm,
have them and then schedule them out a week in advance. Just, hey, this is going to be the next one next week. Here's going to be the next one next week. Here's going to be the next one next week. Now, prior to us starting, we didn't have Opus Clip. So now you got five videos, and then technically you can get 16 shorts out of each of those five videos. I would say utilize at least a free version of Opus Clip in the beginning, and then maybe you can consider buying it, as a membership eventually down the line. But utilize the opportunities that you have in front of you. So if we take the five upload VODs, the videos on demand, the long forms, release one every week. That's 5 weeks in advance. Then you've got maybe 8 to 16 or 8 to 12 to 16 clips that you can get off each video. If you don't want to do individual special shorts by themselves, you can get a clip from each of your videos. And this is a huge thing that I just realized. Never try to say, oh, I got 8 clips that are amazing from this one video. I'm going to upload all of these 8 once a day. No, you want to get some variety in there. Just like, the Lay's potato chip bag the box where you get like chili corn Fritos and Doritos and Cool Ranch and Lent. You get the sour. You want to give them a variety of a short, not from the same video every day.
yeah.
Just realize that. And the reason why I know it works is because my last 3 shorts, that I put out have, not talking on like Jenny Arroyo or anything. Like I got like 400,000 views on my shorts, but I do get like 1.2, 1.3 or whatever. But it's because I'll go back into my library of old videos and I'll clip those in Opus, and then I'll run a clip off of those from like 2, 3 years ago,
Mm.
and then I'll run another one from like last week, and then I just keep it confusing so people don't know which way you're coming from. So your 5 videos, and then find your clips of videos and alternate which shorts that you're going to put out. Don't put out a short from the same video 2, 3 days in a row. Flip
Mm.
to another one the next day, nothing, and then rotate it. You know what I mean? That's the 5. So your 5 long form, and then 5 shorts or 5 videos you can pull shorts from. And there's probably 12 to 16 you can probably figure out. You got a gang of like content out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I would say. Do first. Do that first. Before you upload your first video, have 5 in the deck ready to go.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm actually writing down something that you just said that I think everyone should write down and stick by on their YouTube channel. Keep it confusing. I love that so much.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, keep
Never
them
let
guessing,
them know.
hey?
Never let them know where you're coming from.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
love
When it
that.
comes to shorts, you just keep hitting because you never know which short is going to grab the right crowd. And if you keep, hitting the same short from the same video you already put out, people are like, oh, I saw this in the video. I don't need to
Mm.
watch this anymore. You want to go backwards, forwards, reverse, middle, back, forward, just keep it confusing. And then people are like, oh, I didn't see this one. What is it? And do you relate it to either another short, where some people say relate to another short, or you can relate it to the actual video at hand.
Mm.
Now, once you look at your analytics and you feel like, okay, I see where my shorts are, doing well amongst this certain demographic. I need to relate it to a certain short that brings them in even more. And so you can go, 3 shorts in, and then by the 4th short, you can be like, okay, I'm related to the long form video. People don't realize that you don't have to relate it back to the long form video. You can actually just keep short, 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 because some people love shorts.
Mm.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to go from a short to a long. They'll be like, I don't want to watch that. So you get them from a short to another short to another short to another. They just, they'll scroll for days, and after a while, you make 25 cents. You never know. It's good. It's good.
Oh, that's great. Nazi Vegan Life says, and you might have answered this already with Opus. How do you stay organized with all the content you put out? Do you use any tools?
Yeah, I don't stay organized. I'm just going to be honest. I just
Me neither.
yeah. Snazzy, she knows I have ADHD. I don't, if I'm not on Adderall, like I'm not organized. I keep trying things. I'm super experimental, if you will. I'm all about trying new things to see what works. And that's literally how I came about the last video that I just uploaded. And right now I'm working on the script for the new one that's probably going to drop in the next 2 days. Hopefully, based on what we talked about in the chat group, it will. It's either going to go up or down. It's going to be one of the two. But initially, I just got to try something out. I like to experiment, and you've got to be okay with experimenting. You and strategic processes work. Don't get me wrong, it works. I just find where the clues are, and if I see something that's good, let me catapult the next idea off of that, because I feel like if I do it correctly, it'll work. And so, based on what we talked about, I think I got a chance of putting it in the right situation
Mm.
for it to become a thing. So, what do they say? The riches are in the niches. That's literally where I found. Right now I'm sitting on, I don't know, let me just to take a glance right quick, live and direct. I just crossed 4,700. I was at last week when I released it, I was at 43,
Mm-hmm.
4,300, maybe 4,300. And that's like when I released it, maybe 5 days ago. It
Yeah.
was at 4,300. This last video. Now it's at 4,703. Um, and it was off of I saw somebody's video and I was like, I could do it better. You've always got to take a chance on what it is that you want to do or what you think you can do better.
Yeah.
And you never know. You never know what that one video might be that can set it off. And it might be something you don't even like to do. You you might be like, oh, that's gonna be the worst video ever. But when you hit that button and it uploads, oh, I want to definitely say this though. Don't be afraid to change thumbnails and titles. Oh my God. I changed titles 3 and 4 times. And once you find the one that clicks, you'll know. Just keep working the titles. Keep working the titles. How do I work my titles? ChatGPT, vidIQ. Between the two of them and myself, like, oh, I might take something I get from vidIQ, something I get from ChatGPT, something in my mind, and I, bring it together and I make the perfect title. So don't
Mm.
rely just on AI, to bring you the best title. You still have to incorporate your mind, and when something's going to be one of your best hits. And so I would always say, don't be afraid if you see your CTR is like super low. There could be a good it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. But if it's lagging in the views, you might need to make a change. Is your packaging correct? Right? Is your thumbnail leading to the title? Is your title going back to the thumbnail to get clarity? If they're not getting that clarity before they click,
Mm.
you got to rework that. So
Yeah.
make sure that the information, and I'll always say, and I know you got, the baby girl getting ready to wake up, but 3 to 4 words in your thumbnail, super important. 3 to 4, and make it big as daylight, as biggest thing you can make. Make your thumbnail. If you have words on your thumbnail, make them huge. You want that to catch the eye.
Mm.
Um, have a clear, succinct font that people can read. It's something easy, um, and make it continue into your title. Can they go from the thumbnail with the title on the thumbnail directly into your title of the video and go back and get confirmation of your thumbnail? I learned that off of somebody I was watching like the other day. But yes, I would say make it as bold as you possibly can. And that's something I've learned how to do maybe in like the last 6 months. I still have to go back and do like all of the other 300 videos that I have
Mm.
to to correct those. But right now, it's on the right path. You know what I mean? So yes.
Yeah. Was it Jake Thomas you learnt that from?
Actually, no. So I
That's
will
interesting.
say Jake was my first on. He was probably my first on understanding how to hit a pain point
Mm.
in a title and using creative hooks. I will say he was the first that brought it to my attention. But the way I look at YouTube education is like junior high or high school. I have 7 teachers that I follow throughout the day.
Yeah.
Most people don't do this. I switch classes literally throughout the day. I may listen to Graham Cochran. I may listen to Nolan Moat. I may listen to Sean Cannell, Omar Croy, Myron Golden. Um, who else do I listen to? I've got Sonny Leonard Doozy. I don't know her last name correctly, but there is who else? Callaway. These 7 people that I listen to, not daily, but within a week. I'm
Mm.
flipping through their content, and I watch the whole video of everybody. So they're getting good views off of me. But I watch everybody's video and I'll flip. And while I'm in the car, if I'm going to the gym, if I'm going to the gas station, I'm listening. I should not say I'm watching. cops, I'm not watching the podcast while I'm driving, but I'm listening though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got the YouTube. I'm listening to it as I'm driving, and I'm getting gems. I'm getting information from all of these people, and I mesh it all together. And of course, that may be an ADHD thing. I don't know, whatever. But I put it all together, and I make what I want to make. Oh, Ed Lawrence. Oh, your guy, Ed Lawrence from Aussie. He's the man. I love that guy. He gives me everything I need from a YouTube business standpoint, where I learned how to create content to funnel it over from to a business standpoint. So these people I listen to on a daily basis, and I just extract the things that I need. And some hit better than others, but they are doing their integral part to make it where my business can flourish. And so I really think, if those, and I would love to have people make sure they understand that. I'm gonna run it back just to make sure we've got everybody understanding. There are 8, 9, 10 people that you should probably 10 people that you should probably check out. And I didn't name 3, but I will name them now. We've got Nick Nimmin, we've got Roberto Blake, we've got Graham Cochran. We've got Nolan Moat, Omar El Takori, Sean Cannell. Who else do we have? We've got Jesus. Who are the other people? Sonny Leonarduzzi. I don't know. She's got an Italian name. Not my bag there. And then of course we've got Jake Thomas. Always got to have Jake on there. And then we've got somebody else. Needless to say, Ed Lawrence. Yes. Ed Lawrence. Yes. And Nate Black. Yes. Thank you, Jen. Nate Black. Yes. Those are the people that I watch all the time. And I have a ball watching it. And if you're an educator, like, this is your thing. This is what gets you going. Like, you're excited about the education that they give. And one of the things that they give may be the most important thing that you need to get your YouTube channel going. Okay, I know Sunshine's getting ready to get up right now. I'm sorry.
I just was like, oh, wow, my undiagnosed ADHD and your ADHD are playing together and I'm forgetting about my child. This has seriously been such an amazing chat. We have Jesus too, Marianne says.
That guy. Yeah, he kind of helps me out,
We can't jump into this right now. I have a comment from Protein Shake. We are not going to talk about this today, but next week I'm actually interviewing the Creator Classroom, who, same time, same place. So she started off with a faceless YouTube channel, so she's going to be able to answer that question. And we've just been talking about some pretty inspiring YouTubers. I have some interviews in this playlist. You'll find them under live or podcasts on my YouTube channel, and also Jake Thomas. We had a chat about a month ago. So yeah, this has been super inspiring. I'm so grateful to you for your beautiful transparency and sharing so much about your journey. You are, started off saying it, and I still believe it, you're an absolute bloody legend.
When I hit like 100,000 next month, I'm definitely coming back on to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for that. What an exciting month that's going to be for you. That's going to be fantastic.
Right.
Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in live. I appreciate you all so much. And I'm going to go and probably change a poopy diaper now.
Yeah, good luck.
Can't wait. The joys.
Nos vemos.
All right. See you later, everyone.